Hi dear Cancers, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of February 2024. February for you guys in general is a time when you are focused on shared resources, intimacy, psychological stuff, inheritances, loans, taxes, all those things, because the sun will be transiting through your 8th house most of February. I mean, as it usually does each year. And this year it should be especially interesting because we will have 5 planets in Aquarius. So that means you will have 5 planets in your 8th house. So I feel like February is very much about like intimacy, shared resources, finances, loans, and taxes. Yeah, and February, it's like usually tax time. So Cancers, I feel like, yeah, you'll be preoccupied with these topics in February. Eighth house is also the house of inheritances. So some Cancers, you might find out that you received an inheritance. Like, yeah. So we'll see. Let's see. We enter the month with all planets in direct motion. This is a great time starting from February until like sometime in April. We will have all the planets in direct motion, and that's great for starting new things, because when planets are retrograde, they're like an unfinished business. They're like holding us back. But now with all planets moving forward, and nothing will be holding us back, so to speak. So naturally, it means it's a great time to start new things, to try something new. Okay? And now I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, because the beginning of February is not a good time to start something new, because of the last quarter moon that we're going to have on February 2nd. So that means the moon will be becoming smaller and smaller after this. Until it disappears before the new moon. So the first 5 days of February, I would say, don't waste your energy trying to start new things. Instead, use this time to rest, to recover, to regain energy, and get ready for the upcoming new moon. Okay? Because new moon, it brings like new energy, new focus. It's like a new page. And also, the first 5 days of February are good times to wrap things up that started with the Capricorn new moon in January, and it's also a great time to get ready for the upcoming new moon in Aquarius. Yeah, for example, let's say you need to mail a document, like, or application. You sign it, you fill it out, you sign it, and you mail it so that it is delivered by the time of the new moon. It's like in that kind of way, getting ready. And then on February 5th, we have Mercury entering Aquarius. It's going to stay in Aquarius until February 23rd, so like barely 3 weeks. It's going to sprint through Aquarius because Mercury is in good shape. If you remember, in January, at the very beginning of January, Mercury finished retrograding, but still most of January it was in the shadow zone of retrograde. But now in February it will be at its maximum speed, doing well. So that means if you need to sign a contract, February is perfect for that. Yeah, because Mercury is in good shape. Otherwise, if it was retrograde or in the shadow zone, if you signed a contract during that time, it would mean that, like, let's say you signed a 1-year contract, but after 4 months the other party decides not to continue, or like you decide to quit. Yeah, so that kind of stuff is involved. But when you sign it when Mercury is in good shape, it means like you will fulfill the contract without any sudden changes or surprises. And so Mercury in Aquarius in general is a time when we talk about things that are like quirky, unique, original. We explore like hobbies, like the obscure things that we're interested in. It's like that kind of energy. And for you Cancers, this is in your 8th house, so it's a good time to talk about like shared resources. So with your partner, like it will be easier to reach agreements in terms of those things if there has been a misunderstanding. So yeah, and it's like barely 3 weeks, and it's gonna sprint through it. And it can also be a great time to talk to like banks and stuff. If you need to renegotiate the loan interest rate and stuff, yeah, it would be great because Mercury is communication, and eighth house is like other people's money. So anybody that represents other people's money, it can Mercury will help you to communicate what you need to communicate. And then on February 9th, we're gonna have a new moon in Aquarius on the 20th degree of Aquarius. And so, new moon is a time of when we receive news, announcements, decisions, and you can expect them to start coming actually starting from February 5th, 4 days before the new moon and 4 days after. Okay, like the peak new moon energy. In general, the new moon energy is active until like the full moon, like for 2 weeks, but still, like the peak energy is around the new moon itself. And so this new moon is gonna occur in your eighth house. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, February is all about like other people's money. It seems like shared resources. Yeah, like my money, my partner's money, loans. Like you might be thinking about like how to pay off a loan or how to get a loan. For some, it might be about like a therapy. Some might decide to finally find a therapist and discuss like what's going on in their minds, right? To kind of bring an order to thoughts. And I would say it's a great energy for that because Pluto is in there now. Pluto in your eighth house, that's like double transformative energy. So dear Cancers, if you are thinking about therapy, like I would say February is a good time to start that. Yeah, you might find a therapist that you like, that you get along with. Yeah, or like for some, as I mentioned, it might be the time when they find out about an inheritance. I mean, most of us never really receive an inheritance in our lives, but for some people, it happens. So, who knows? Maybe some Cancers will receive news about an inheritance. And another thing I need to mention about this new moon is that it's going to be in a pretty tight square to Uranus in Taurus. So there will be an element of surprise. Okay? So maybe a surprise inheritance for those uh, who are waiting for. Oh no, for those who will get an inheritance. Maybe it will be a surprise one, like out of the blue. And for others, it might be like sudden news about like finances. Yes, or like sudden news about finances. Maybe it's not necessarily bad. Like don't feel scared. It's just the square is gonna make you do something. Like surprise, you do it, and then like you'll be fine. This is not like an earth-shattering aspect, so don't worry. And then on February 13th, Mars is going to enter Aquarius until March 22nd. So, let's see now. Pluto is in Aquarius, Sun is in Aquarius, Mercury is in Aquarius, and now Mars is in Aquarius. And 3 days after Mars, Venus is going to enter Aquarius. So, you see, 5 planets will be in Aquarius in mid-February. And for you, dear Cancers, that means you will have these 5 planets in your 8th house. Like, it should be really interesting. Like, I wonder what's going on in Cancer's lives. I need to check on my Cancer friends because this is like a lot of energy, going on in your 8th house. So let's say if you met someone recently, this is like the time when you guys really start getting to know each other, like getting deeper in the intimacy. Because again, 8th house is the house of intimacy. So for those of you who recently met somebody new, this can be exciting. And so both Mars and Venus, when they enter Aquarius, they're going to be conjunct Pluto, because if you remember, Pluto entered Aquarius only in like late January. So in February, it's still on the 0th degree. And so another interesting thing is February 14th, Valentine's Day, we will have these 3 planets conjunct around that time. And another interesting thing is all of these 3 planets are very much passionate, like love-related planets. So this Valentine's Day should be very interesting. I'm curious. And we've never had this energy. Like I don't remember the last time we had this. Like because for the past 15 years, Pluto had been in Capricorn. And we did have Pluto in Aquarius last year for a couple of months, but we didn't have Mars or Venus around it. So now we have all three of them together. So this is very, very interesting. It should be fun. And what else? On February 18th, the Sun is going to enter Pisces. And this is going to be like a pressure valve for all the 8th house stuff, because now the planets will slowly start leaving your 8th house and enter your 9th house. So if you've been lost in the labyrinth of the 8th house, now in the 9th house you will get to see the big picture and see what's going on, like philosophically. Yeah. Well, like the Sun enters your 9th house every year around this time, like from February 19th until like March 20th. Yeah, so what else? On February 23rd, Mercury is going to join the Sun and enter Pisces. And it's going to stay in there until March 9th. So, again, communication that was focused on like shared resources, intimacy, and like psychology, and now it's going to enter the more humorous part of your chart. Ninth house is associated with Jupiter and Sagittarius, so we will be able to like laugh at ourselves. Yeah, and those planets in your ninth house will help you do that. And on the same day as Mercury entering Pisces, on February 23rd, we have Mars and Venus conjunction. So again, a very romantic energy, the cosmic lovers together. And the children who will be born on that day, they will be very charismatic because of that conjunction. And so, finally, on February 24th, we have a full moon in Virgo, on the 5th degree of Virgo. And for you, dear Cancers, this is your 11th house. So the moon will be in your 11th house, but the Sun and Saturn are going to be in your 5th house. And so it's like between your friendships and romance. Like they need to find balance between the two themes. And so, what was I going to say? So full moon is about like culmination, illumination, clarity. And so some sort of like culmination regarding friendships, hopes and wishes, and networking. Okay, something coming to a culmination, or illumination, or achievement. Maybe your friend is achieving something, and you are celebrating them around this time. And the Sun, along with Saturn, are going to be in your 5th house. So this is like, how should I say it? Wait, what am I saying? No, I think I made a mistake. It's not your 11th house, it's your 3rd house. So the full moon will be in your 3rd house, while the Sun and Saturn are going to be in your 9th house. So there will be a need to find balance between those two houses, like communication, short distance travel, and then long distance travel, and philosophical thinking, like worldview, like outlook. So yeah, and full moons are about culmination, illumination, achievement, and this will be in your 3rd house. So maybe something in your siblings' life coming to a culmination, like maybe they're achieving something. So you will be celebrating your sibling around this time, okay, in late February. And so this is pretty much it for February, dear Cancers. Remember, around the Valentine's Day in mid-February, we're going to have Mars, Venus, Pluto conjunction, and we'll have 5 planets in Aquarius. So this is very much about your 8th house. Okay, February is about shared resources, finances, taxes, loans, inheritances, psychology, and intimacy. Those things are prominent for you. But in general, we don't really have any bad aspects in this month, in February. Mostly like Mars and Venus action seems to be like pretty prominent in February, and that's good. And another thing I need to mention is we have eclipses coming up in March and April. So that means in February we still have relative stability and peace. I'm not saying that March is going to be like crazy. No, it's just around the eclipses, life feels a bit more hectic. hmm So in February, still enjoy this like tranquility. And if you guys like this video, please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my March video. Thank you for watching.